There are a lot of moving parts to running a successful podcast, and there are a lot of things that we forget to tell you about. So we're going to take a second to tell you about some of the things that we never hammer home, but like our merch. We have a lot of great merch. If you go to tomanddan.com/merchandise, there's always sales, all kinds of new stuff that Eric's putting on there and turning out.
He's always throwing in extra stuff. Like we've got some extra leftover Beer Fest gift bags.
Sunglasses,
we're throwing there.
magnets, stickers, koozies.
And you help support a small local podcast business. T&D Media. It's us.
We didn't even have time to do Small Business Saturday. No time. Too small to do Small Business Saturday.
So ordering the merch helps. Also becoming a BDM helps. And you could sign up at tomanddan.com.
Well, that really helps because that's like you're like a consistent donation to the show, and it helps us, all the events that we do for free. That's you guys helping to prop that up.
Yeah, and we do private events just for BDMs where we have one coming up, a BDM-only Christmas party. Yep. So all BDMs will receive an email with an invite.
It's a little more intimate, and if you'd like to be a part of that, you can go to tomanddan.com/registration and use the love meter to sign up.
Yeah, and believe me, every member helps us.
Absolutely.
And it makes a difference.
Absolutely.
Like, if you think, it doesn't matter.
From $1.95 to $10.95. Everybody matters, man.
Yeah,
trust me.
We appreciate it. Also, we've got a cruise coming up, Tom and Dan Cruise 2024.com. Every booking gets unlimited free drinks and a limited Wi-Fi package.
So a brand new boat, and we're going to check out. We've never been on the MSC shore, so that should be fun.
Yep, that's happening next September 2024. So book now to hold your spot because there is a limited amount of spots that Tony holds for us. So a great Christmas gift.
Yeah, and what else do we need to tell them about?
Any sort of rating and reviewing you could do on YouTube, on Twitch, on
subscribing to YouTube.
Yeah, Apple Podcasts.
If you use YouTube the way that most people are starting to do now, or many of you have been, the best thing you can do for us is to subscribe on Twitch and on YouTube. It really helps our numbers go up, gets us a little bit more visible, and it really helps us out, guys.
So all of that, anything you do, we appreciate. And we're small enough that we see when you guys do it.
Like, we really do.
Every BDM sign up, we see your name, and we appreciate it. So thank you very much.
We see your family inside. We see everything.
We go on Facebook, like, who signed up this week, and we start looking.
Like, what's his wife look like? Like, all right, zoom in. All right, go to vacation pic. All right, go. Oh, no, stop, pause. Now zoom in. Our nipples are hard. We don't say.
tomanddan.com.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
So the Salt Life murder, what's up with that?
What's up with that?
This is called What's Up with Murder, Tom and Dan.
So the Salt Life founder, Michael Troy Hutto, pled guilty after killing his 18-year-old girlfriend while they were, quote, playing inside of a hotel room as if they were shooting with their finger and a gun.
So that's what you do with kids. Right?
So this guy was 56 years old. This happened in 2020.
Yeah.
In Jacksonville, by the way. 56-year-old Michael Troy Hutto was dating an 18-year-old woman named Laura Grace Duncan. And in October 2020, he ended up shooting her. Duncan died from a single gunshot wound to the stomach. She was discovered by her father inside a room at the Hilton Singer Island Oceanfront Resort after her parents traced her cell phone there. So he literally shot her and then left her for dead instead of getting help for her.
My God. And
maybe he thought he'd won the game and he was just I'm sorry.
This is like in the midst of COVID too. In October
2020. He was not present in the room with Duncan when her body was found, but he had left his ID and wallet behind.
So he obviously made a fortune
and he
off
looks
Salt
like
Life.
a old beach grandma.
Yeah. He's got an interesting look.
So how much? I wonder how much they made, him and his partner, off of Salt Life and the brand. It had to have been a lot.
Oh my God,
right?
yeah.
I don't know, hundreds of millions of dollars.
That may be too much.
You see it everywhere, though.
But there's only so much, I guess, you can
give
make.
Give me one. Everything I say, you say no to. Just give me one.
I apologize.
Yeah.
That's like my wife.
Every single thing I say on this show, he'll go, absolutely not. You're wrong. Here's why you're right. Like, come on, all right.
Well, they want me to tell you the truth.
Do you know the truth, or are you just saying I'm wrong? Because that's different. If you don't know, you can't say anything.
I'm not saying you're 100% wrong. That seemed inflated to me. 100 million.
All right.
I was thinking more of like an 18 million.
Okay, 18 million.
Like lower than 20. But I could be wrong. I mean, the brand, is it huge around the world?
I think it's huge in North America. I don't know about around the world.
Yeah, I don't know about the around the world.
But every beach town I've been to.
Dude, I know people in like Wisconsin with Salt Life stickers. Like, what the hell? Like my cousin. Don't talk about it. It says Hutto, whatever, told detectives that Duncan was sitting on the counter in the bathroom when he pointed the gun at her and it fired. He allegedly left the room, taking the gun with him. He did find the Salt Life clothing brand with several Jacksonville area friends in 2003.
BDM Casey's saying it's sold for $40 million.
Okay.
So. That sounds about right. That's a lot, though. Holy crap, that's a lot of money.
He sold his share of the business in 2013 and was no longer affiliated with the brand.
They're probably pretty happy about that.
So he was in it for 10 years, sold his share. Sounds like he was on some type of drugs because the cops said he was at the hospital like with his eyes rolling in the back of his head, twitching, making delusional comments.
We have a gentleman in the chat room, Salty Captain John, who says, the food is great at Salt Life. I was one of the only guys that worked there. All the servers were aspiring Instagram models, basically.
Well, I'm sure they just bought the brand rights. Some restaurant owner, bought the brand.
That
would
be smart. You bring in like a real chef, and you get the food concept fleshed out, and then you just slap the Salt Life name on it. That way, you ensure that the food is good. You don't want some old drug salty grandpa cooking up chicken fingies.
Well, think like this guy.
I don't think this guy got enough time.
And
really, how did he
12
do?
years. Here's the thing. If he would have shot her and then called for help, she could have had a chance to survive. He just left her there to suffer and die. That guy...
Did they charge him with murder?
It was manslaughter.
So his basic claim was we were playing...
He pled guilty to manslaughter.
So
he took a plea deal.
But his basic claim is we were playing, gun went off,
accidental.
She got shot, I got scared and left.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
That seemed like murder to me.
Yeah. Seems like fraud to me.
D&D Medical.
That was my absolute favorite time you've ever been on a phone call.
I'm no juror, but if I was like, well, I don't know about that, buddy. Yeah. Like, you accidentally shot your girlfriend or whoever you accidentally shoot, and then you're like, I'm too scared, and I'm just going to leave them to die.
I've never understood.
Like you shot them and you left them to die? Murder.
Well, I mean, in a very straight, like, it's certainly not murder, but when that lady hit my car, remember? And I had to track her down. And when I tracked her down, she's like, I was coming back. I was going to tell you. I was like, when? When were you going to tell me? Like, you left. You were gone. You thought you'd gotten away with it.
Also, like, they should take all his money, give it to the victim's family, like, so that he gets out of jail. He's not rich. Like, you're talking about 12 years. I know
they'd have to do a civil suit for that.
No, I know. And they probably will.
This is like a baby. That's 18 years old.
Yeah.
Man. That's not even I don't even look at that as like a full-grown adult. I'm like, you're a child.
I wonder if that just got lost in the COVID,
It did. It blew up one day, and people were talking about it, and then we all went back to being sad. We can't do what we normally do, and the masks suck, and everything's terrible.
But also in the weirdness of how trials were going on and stuff, I wonder if, this somehow... Wow. Right. It seems like a light sentence for a weird story.
But that happens a lot, right? Yeah. Because if you take a plea deal instead of going to trial. So it makes sense. But still makes me angry that this poor girl died.
Yeah, and
she could have had a chance to live, but this guy only got 12 years.
Yeah, but it seems like they offered him a plea deal in the midst of a chaotic COVID time in the court system, maybe. And then they were like, they were just offering, so they didn't have to go.
Well, cases were piling up.
Yeah.
I mean...
And so, like, this guy actually lucked out, if you wanted, because of when it happened. Because, in any other time, this seems like community be outraged. Like, hey, this is a guy left his 18-year-old girlfriend to die in a hotel room. Like, this guy's 56. It's not like he was 16. They were both teens and they freaked out. You know what I'm saying? This guy's a grown-ass millionaire.
I wonder, too, is he a grown-ass millionaire? I wonder, too, if he was a part of it. It was getting popular. He cashed out in 2013 for a decent amount, and then he blew a lot of money. And since then, they've actually hit their boom. And I wonder if they're like, oh, my God, please, don't connect us to this in any way. You know what I mean? Like, because, like, the guy was only a part of it for not really when it exploded, but just, like, in the origin concept of it. Yeah, and they're like, oh, my God, you idiot.
Like, I don't know the other guy, but, like, if I was writing the story, 2 Florida trash men come up with a T-shirt brand that blows up just because it's the right place, right time, right? And then they get rich off of it. They just sell it or whatever. But these guys are just like anybody.
They're just guys.
You ever had a redneck buddy come to you with a T-shirt business? This is that, I think, just the anomaly.
The only difference between us and that guy is we have a podcast with our T-shirt business.
Well, it's like Bucked Up or whatever. Like every once in a while,
Bucked Up did well.
You know, Big Johnson from the 90s.
What was the other one? There was Bucked Up. Is Bucked Up still around? Gotta be.
So.
Bucked Up did well.
The
Salt Life Bucked Up.
Yeah, Bucked Up still around.
There was No Fear.
No Fear.
But that's
the big dog.
But was that a Nike campaign?
No, that wasn't Nike.
That was a
company.
But would that start off just like a dude with an idea?
I think so.
Okay.
Like Bad Boy Club. Remember Flat Top, Muscle, and it was Bad Boy Club.
Yeah, because I
miss a good misogynistic, masculine brand. You know, like a good hey.
Because it seems improbable back
dorks.
in the 90s without the internet that one guy could blow up a brand like that. It seemed like you'd have to have Nike or some bigger apparel company buy it to even have the chance to blow up. Because how else would it spread without the money?
Yeah.
The internet makes it possible for everything to spread worldwide.
Famous stars and straps.
Yes.
That was one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but already Rockstar came up, or at least, promoted that brand.
Who came? Look up No Fear. Because out of all of them, that's the big dog to me.
No Fear is an American lifestyle clothing brand that was created in 1989 by Mark Simo, Brian Simo, Boris Said, and Marty Moats.
Marty Moats? Fear was invented by Marty Moats?
Yeah.
So that's just some dudes with an idea. How the hell did it spread? They had to have had someone help them market it, right?
Where's the documentary on No Fear? I'd love to watch that.
No Fear T-shirts were very popular from the mid-90s to early 2000s.
Did they get into
peculiarly not having been endorsed by any celebrities, shirts typically featured existential slogans or quotes that touted the virtues of extreme sports.
Yeah, it's like second place is the first loser. I saw that shirt and my dad was like,
they also had energy drinks through a partnership with Sobe. God, I miss a good Sobe.
Sobe White was pretty damn tasty.
They must have got themselves...
No Fear was the official energy drink for World Extreme Cage Fighting.
Did they partner with some mall, like some store in the mall? They're able to...
Like the chat room is saying that they got in, like sort of with skate culture and extreme sports, like right around the time when Do Action Sports Tour. I mean, this is your angle, man.
Surfing, motocross.
Yeah, this is like your generation.
But how did I remember, like, there was No Fear shirts for sale at the mall and, like, Burdines. You know what I'm saying? Like in the kids section.
Well, that's just working the Walmart deal, right? Once you get
they got in with the Burdines.
Simon Malls they did get in. Well, Burdines in Florida. Now, I don't know if nationally everybody did this, but Burdines in Florida was weird because they were almost forced to carry surf designs because it was like what everybody wore on the coast. So if you went to Burdines, if you went to like a Macy's, if you went to JCPenney's even, you would see T-shirts from Billabong, Quicksilver, Rip Curl, all those brands. Yeah. You know, and No Fear ran adjacent to that, except it was like, it wasn't just surfing. It was No Fear was like all extreme sports, skating, and surfing.
Yeah, it was another lifestyle brand that just spread. I mean, like Marty Moats.
Marty Moats.
These guys aren't geniuses. They just hit on a idea at the right place, right time.
But how do they come up with, I guess not to sound like you, but like how did they, were they sitting around and one guy was like, No Fear, it's the ultimate like confident clothing ideology. Like, what? How did it?
They also didn't overthink it,
right?
Which is simple.
Right, yeah.
It was like
we have that problem all the time here. I do it all the time.
Simple. They were like no fear, and then I feel like you need a certain like amateur. Like, your head's in the clouds. You think this is the best idea for it to even work. Because if you started really thinking about it, you're like, well, this is nothing. Like no fear. Like, a chicken and a cat calling each other a chicken and P word. Stupid.
I had that shirt.
But it sold crazy.
Yeah.
And
that shirt, I've seen that shirt so many times.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in school had it in 1993. Right?
Now, Bad Boy Club. What was Bad Boy Club?
The same, I think, similar. Like,
I don't know if I remember that one.
It was a muscle man. It was like a flat top guy, and he had a muscle out.
The sticker on people's trucks or whatever. That was.
I'm in the Bad Boy Club.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? It means I do bad stuff with my friends. It means I'm a bit of a hoodlum. I'm a rapist. It means I'm a rapist.
It's the same Venn diagram as the MMA. What's the MMA one where
Tap out.
Tap out.
I forgot about that one. Tap out's a good one. You don't see tap out anymore.
It's the tap out. Tap out is a 2006 version of Bad Boy Club in the 90s.
Is there one right now? You know what I loved?
It got too diluted.
You know what I loved?
It's too
but
diluted.
You know what I loved? And it burned hot for a split second. And the only person I know that actively wore these clothings, or these pieces of clothing, rather, was Mark Marrow. I loved it. It was aggressive Grim Reaper meets heaven. And it was Affliction flipped upside down, where Gothic, Cathedral, Gargoyle, the whole nine. It was the whole nine, but all about the Lord. It was all about God.
They're doing a relaunch of the Bad Boy Club.
Affliction God was my favorite style. It was like, you'd have a Grim Reaper with a crow on his shoulder, and he'd have the scythe getting ready to take you away, but he was also promising you eternal life with your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It was like, there's something about it I just love. There's a car, there's a wrapped Escalade that drives around Orlando that is wrapped in God affliction, and I'm here for it, man. I like it. And I see it. I see it all the time in like the Dr. Phillips area, or sometimes on Park Ave. I see the wrapped.
The Grim Reaper. He works for Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. Death isn't a bad thing.
No,
death,
everyone dies.
You're going to die, but the best part about
why
dying
would he send the scariest?
No, he's not. He can't control how he looks. You're being very judgmental. He's a good man.
Well, send an angel with a harp.
No, he sends a Grim Reaper.
A cloud.
No, he sends a Grim Reaper, and then the Grim Reaper takes you to an eternal life with your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I can only imagine you're up there with all your dead relatives, and it's a wonderful place. Because hell, truly hell, if you ask any good Christian, hell is just the absence of God.
Yeah, but you're sending a scary person to escort you to a pearly gates.
It works better for affliction. It's like
it's more aggressive.
It is more aggressive. You know what would not be aggressive? And I thought about this, and I chuckled in my bed a couple nights ago. A little Grim Reaper. He has to be really tall, right? Like if I walk up behind you, even in the full outfit.
Mini Reaper.
It's not intimidating at all. You don't think you're going to hell or anything. If Danny DeVito walks up behind you dressed like the Grim Reaper, you're okay with it.
So did the Ed Hardy and the Affliction?
Ah, that's a good one. Von Dutch. Put that on our list. Von Dutch, Ed Hardy. I had Von Dutch hats.
We should do Van Dutch hats.
Van Dork.
I feel like that burned hot for how many years?
Von Dutch, 2?
I was going to say 2.
I had a couple of
Affliction, though, lasted like 5 or 6.
There's still people holding on to Affliction.
Oh, my God. You go out Midwest, it's all Affliction, dude. You go Midwest, there are kids that...
Go to a Midwest Marshalls?
You go to a Midwest Marshalls, and there are kids that are wearing a white belt with metal rivets on it and like Jinkos, brand new one.
Yeah, well, that's the 90s.
It's slow out there. It's just a different time out there.
Well, I think, the Jinkos in the 90s.
You go out in the Midwest, there's a Blockbuster.
Yeah, I mean, there are some places in the middle of nowhere that it's funny. They haven't even experienced the same life we have.
No COVID either. They didn't have it. They didn't have it.
Some of their grandmas died, but they blamed it on something else. They're like, that's a normal
old
pneumonia.
Chat room wants to know if Tommy Bahama is part of this, what we're referencing.
No, Tommy Bahama is still, I feel, a classic style for Florida men in their 60s.
You have to defend that.
And they have full stores and restaurants.
Yeah, that's still
you realize that legally, as a Florida man, Tom has to defend that because we'll both eventually wear that to like a graduation or something. So we have to defend it.
A button-down Hawaii, Florida style. I feel like that's
timeless.
That's timeless.
You got to take that away from us.
Yeah, that's not a snapshot of time we can look back at. Like Ed Hardy, no one's wearing that anymore. People would laugh at you.
That's what I'm saying. We should bring back all the old stuff that nobody wants to wear anymore.
I would wear Ed Hardy hats and I'd cock them to the side. You know, and I had my True Religion.
Ed Hardy's still around.
I had some True Religion jeans with the U. True Religion jeans had a U on the pocket, and they had flaps. I had a couple pairs of True Religion. They were
I'm
great
gonna get
jeans.
an Ed Hardy denim skirt with big dragon on it.
How much for it? Is this
They're
still
$75.
Juicy Couture? That was one, but I don't put any of these in the same vein as like Assault Life because they need this. You almost need the sticker, right? You need the
that's a lifestyle brand, Even though Ed Hardy and Affliction kind of is, you're representing a certain type of
Psycho
aggressive.
Bunny. Chat room mentioned Psycho Bunny. They have a Psycho Bunny store, I believe, at the Millennium Mall here in town, and it is one of the newer of this like lifestyle brands. But Psycho Bunny is think Lacoste with an edge. So the little embroidery on the polo is like a rabbit with like a devil rabbit instead of an alligator.
All right.
But it's really just preppy clothing.
Gotcha.
It's nothing, but it's Psycho Bunny. It's like, hey.
It's just a newer version.
It's aggressive. It's a rabbit, but it's psycho. He's a psycho. What does he do? What doesn't he do? He's a psycho. It's stupid. Right? It's all stupid.
People they
just want tribalism, just want to belong.
Yeah.
You got another email over there? I like the emails better than the voicemails.
Let's see. Amazon Black Friday NFL game.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of people that were amazed you couldn't figure this out, and he's just asking questions, guys.
Hi, guys. I was listening to Tom being dumbfounded about why the Dolphins game on Amazon was at 3 p.m. on Black Friday instead of a night game. One thing nobody mentioned is that traditionally college football has games on Saturday, but also has Friday night games, usually at 7 p.m. Thanksgiving weekend is also the last weekend of the regular season of college games, and it is rivalry week.
That's hard to say.
Yeah. The biggest weekend of the year for college football. The NFL and college tend to overlap their game days and times as they don't want to compete with one another, so the Dolphins game at 3 on Black Friday would be finished in time to not overlap with the college games that start at 7 p.m. Just a thought. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I can't say that last sentence.
Can't say the last part.
That was the answer that I was looking for.
That's a non-disgusting answer. He said that yesterday.
He's fine with that.
But everybody else, including me and Sam, were discussing Tom and making him very disgusting.
Oh my God!
Well, you were saying
that he was going to throw up.
It's because people get done with their shopping before. EJ was the dumbest answer.
He only Tom
people get done with the shopping before noon on Black Friday. That
was the most disgusting answer. It was. You're right. What else you got over there?
We got to take a
Oh my
break.
God, I hate breaks.
All right, we'll be back. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer, is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
So we've got some Solar Bears games that we're going to be at coming up December 7th or
8th and 9th.
8th and 9th. The 8th, we're doing something a little special.
Yeah.
And I liked how you tried to box me out of this one. You were like, Dan's not going to go to the 8th.
He can go to the other one.
He's going to the teddy bear toss. Since he's not going on the 8th, let's do a massive party sponsored by Just Call Mo. Moses DeWitt of the DeWitt.
Well, me and Sam couldn't go to the 9th, the teddy bear toss.
Well, I can't go to the 8th.
Yeah. Well, that's why we were doing it. But
so then it's two, so you outvoted me.
It's carts and kegs all over again.
No. Well, we needed a day to do the tailgate at
Why
Moe's.
did you do it on the 9th?
Because me and Sam can go.
Yeah, but I can't go on the 8th.
Yeah, but you can go to the tailgate. And
he's just saying make us just go to the 8th, and then he gets the tailgate and the teddy bear talk.
Oh,
yes,
okay. Well,
exactly. Tailgate teddy bear. It's good alliteration. T&T. Tease.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. All right.
Spread out the love.
The bus decker.
Am I the star of the show? No, I'm not. Okay, I get it. It's fine. It's fine. I've been told that. Drew Garabo said that. And Till said that. The Monster said that. It's fine. It's fine. I don't need to be the star. I'll be there on the 8th. I'll be there on the 9th.
He'll have the weather.
I'm used to being behind the scenes.
You're more of a weather and a computer guy.
I'm a reliable
weather and computer.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
weather and buttons.
Computers, whether you like it or not.
Let's do some weird.
All right, weird. I got a new song. And there's nothing I like more than the uncomfortability of a new song while we're sitting here with new people on the couch. Let's do it. You are a fat slob. You are a fat slob. You are a fat slob, and you're working a really, really weird job. You are a fat slob, and you're working your job. You are a fat slob, and you're working a really, really weird job. This is the best part right here. Hold on. I'm going to make coquito for Christmas. Lots and lots of coquito for Christmas. I'm going to make coquito for Christmas, whether you like it or not. It's because all my Spanish friends, they just give me coquito, whether I like it or not. They just bring it over, bottles and bottles of coquito, and I tell them every year, I go, I don't like coquito, I don't like eggnog. And you know what makes eggnog worse? Coquito, and I don't like it. And then they just bring it over, no matter what, they just hand it to me, and they're like, no matter what, they're like, but you haven't had mine. You haven't had mine. You haven't had mine. You haven't had mine. And
family
they keep
recipe.
saying it over and over again, and I've had it.
It's fine. It's some, alcoholic.
Nobody wants your barf, alcoholic barf
No, they
milk.
want it.
Nobody wants it.
Also,
I've never seen anybody consume an entire glass of it. I'm sorry, I'm screaming. There's a child here. I'm sorry.
Shouldn't the song have more about the job than the fat slob?
Well, he's trying to be festive.
I'm using it more as like almost a gratitude journal.
Jeff is here. How you doing, Jeff?
How you doing?
And Jeff's daughter Taylor's here. Now, let's talk about your weird job, because we've never had a weird job about owning a skate park or anything adjacent to that, I think. So
I think it's one of the weirder jobs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we done Jenna Hurt's the closest we've been to skate park. Like
she's building like public skate parks,
like a donation to the community.
But
that's the closest we've gotten.
Yeah, but that's a government building a park, right?
Sure.
That's I think a whole different deal. So Jeff, tell us about your skate park.
Well, we own Central Florida Skate Park. It's a indoor skate park.
Nice.
That's inside like a warehouse.
Yep.
It's about 5,000 square foot. It's got a mini ramp.
Which we needed since Van Skate Park shut down.
Yeah.
Where they had the dual, inside, outside.
Well, and there was Metro Skate Park too, and that kind of recently closed.
Yeah.
Man.
So, first, how'd you even get into this? Where'd the idea start from?
Well, we skateboard a lot, and I take my kids to the skate parks all the time, and we get rained out a lot. And then the other skate park, Metro Skate Park, we used to go there all the time, and it would be just so crowded. And then we started building a park in our backyard because the kids got better and better. So we built a mini ramp in the backyard.
That's Tom's dream.
Cool dad alert. God.
And then we set up stairs and had this and that. And then before you know it, people are asking to come over to skate it. And then I'm like, we should just do this.
Does that make you nervous though? Because I can remember my dad. I have a story about it. I remember my dad was, we had a pool. And we had a diving board. This is back when you could have a diving board. And, oh, man, with the things we would do on this diving board. The diving board was my favorite favorite thing in the world. I loved it. And then one of my friends, still a friend to this day, Abaco Richardson, named after the Abaco Islands. She went to do like a double flip or something, and she cracked the bridge of her nose right on the edge of the diving board. And my dad had to put his cigarette down to dive in and get her. He rescued her, and then he took the diving board out.
Well, because you ruined Abaco ruined it.
Abaco ruined it. I've told her that before. It's a big joke that she ruined it, but like it didn't make you nervous at all that people coming over, or you just like, I got to do what you got to do to be cool, Dad.
Yeah, well, most of them are friends. People we know, so they're skaters, they're experienced skateboarders, so we know who they are, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Now, the problem, though, with that, and I'm sure Mo would tell you, is that if someone hurts themselves on your property and, let's say, blows their teeth out, right?
That's a bad one.
And then the parents are like, I can't afford, like, the dentistry work that it will take to fix my kid's teeth. And then, so everybody's going to tell you, well, you have to sue that person's homeowner's insurance so that you could fix your kid's teeth. And then you're like, well, I don't want to sue my friend, but I need to fix my kid's teeth, and I'll do anything for my kid.
Sure.
And then you're like, this is just the legal way to get my kid new teeth. And then the insurance company comes and shuts you down because now you have they've been sued and you have a skate park, and that's why we can't have good things.
Yeah, fun things.
But
interesting, cool things.
But it makes sense because it's not like the person wants to sue you; they just have to fix their kid.
Sure.
And that's why no one can have trampolines anymore. And there's a way the insurance and the litigation.
But
works.
I will say that from a skateboarding perspective, it seems like skateboarding, especially around here in Baldwin, is more popular than ever. Like I see more kids, boys and girls, all skating.
Yeah.
Like lots and lots of skating.
But I see the electric boards more than actual.
I see dads on electric boards, but around the lake, we got a lot of kids that'll come down here, and they've done their best to try and like screw in like metal knobs to keep them from grinding on stuff, but they still do it.
There's some spots in Baldwin Park.
Yeah, you still see it. My favorites are the ones where they come in. There's one, I'm not going to rat them out. I won't say exactly where it is, but they've removed the barriers so that they put so people couldn't grind, but they just put it back just enough so it's on there. So when they go to skate, they just pull it back and they're good to go.
So Jeff, obviously as your kids get into skating, you have these backyard ramps and everybody wants to skate, and you realize there's a market, people want more places to skate. So when does it move to a warehouse and the whole skate park?
Well, I owned a business before. You guys are going to laugh. Beepers and phones.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
You're Mr. Phones!
You're the beep man! Oh my God, you paid me very well to stand out there with Hungry Howie's Pizza. Thank you for your service.
Well, that's a weird job we should have done. Beepers and phones. What's the markup on that?
I was at so many beepers and phones. I'd have 18 Hungry Howies. Come on down.
You know, it's funny in the 90s.
What's up? It's Daniel for the Monsters. I'm at beepers and phones right now.
His daughter's like, what's a beeper?
Oh, I loved it. I loved my beeper.
In the 90s, when I got my first beeper, I looked at it and I'm like, well, this obviously cost like hundreds of dollars to build.
The future.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This is a future piece of technology that I've never seen before.
It's no different than the communicator in Star Trek. It's no different than what people use in space.
This is insane. Someone just enters a code in their land
How does
phone.
It work? It's magic. ICP.
and then it beeps and it vibrates my
and
device.
it tells me to go to a payphone to call somebody or leave them 80085, which I will not say what it is.
I had the 8008 chambered.
You did.
Chambered.
Yeah, he's always got the 8008. Write that down.
So, Jeff, sorry, Taylor, by the way.
Oh, my God. Between the song and this,
She's like, why'd you drag me here, Dad?
You dragged me to see two adult men who act less mature than I am.
Isn't there school today?
Yeah. What are you doing?
She's skipping.
You went to school for this?
Hell yeah.
This is an educational experience.
Yeah, well, we're going to do something educational.
No, she's a skate kid. Skate kids skip school.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there's nothing you're going to learn that you ever remember in the future, but you You will remember how to skate.
Yeah, at the end of the day, do you want to know who George Washington is, or do you want to do a kickflip? I say kickflip.
Yeah.
Way more impressive.
I've never needed to know who George Washington was.
I don't know who he was.
Yeah,
you go history. I mean, according to some comedians, he was a murderer, a giant murderer.
I like that you guys think that they only learn about George Washington in school.
I mean, well, I don't know.
I don't know.
What else?
I don't have my thumb on the pulse of George Washington.
He didn't have a beeper.
So Jeff, then what's your first step? Is finding a warehouse? Did you did you have the warehouse from Beepers and Phones?
No, like Beepers and Phones shut down like a long time
ago.
Get
these beepers out of here.
And I was just like, I just always wanted to open like another business. So me and my wife would always back and forth on what kind of business to open.
So when was the day that you realized that
we're gonna shut the doors?
Take them through that. They're going to make you walk through your exit from radio to transition to podcasting. The scariest time of your life.
I want to know the day the beepers died.
Yeah. Oh my god!
A long time ago.
It was called Beepers and Phones for a long time without beepers.
It was when Bugs Bunny and the Tasmanian Devil wearing beepers flew their plane into a mountain, and that was the day the beepers died.
So, was there like a news story that came out about cell phones, or like anything that you're like, uh-oh, this isn't good?
People are finding out that cell phones are just better than beepers.
They're talking beepers.
Well, I just owned one store. Like it was like almost like a franchise.
Yeah.
Okay.
It started with one guy from our high school. And he opened a beeper stand.
And you got in on that.
In a mall.
We were part of the original Qdoba.
And then he let people, like his friends or whatever, like go franchise him out. And then
you get a Beepers and Phones.
Yeah, exactly.
You get a Beepers and Phones.
That's pretty cool.
That's a cool
friend. My other friend had like 4 of them. I just had one.
That's the Adam Sandler of beepers.
Yeah, it is.
Was the markup insane? Like, was each beeper like $2 from China?
We got commissions off cell phone. I didn't get in the beeper game. I came after beepers.
Hot take.
Gotcha.
Hot take. If you had a see-through beeper, too thuggy for me.
The clear.
Too thuggy for me. You didn't mean business.
I had a blue
see-through
beeper.
If you had a see-through beeper, you were too thuggy for me. I was like, I can't do business with you. You probably
It's at Miami.
Yeah, you probably have a marijuana leaf on your MySpace page. I can't.
It's got to be the horizontal one too.
You
can't have the top one.
That was a clip where you could run it either way. I had one you could run it either way, and I always carried a black one because my dad even agreed. But my dad's like, the see-through ones make it look like you're up to no good, smoking weed. I'm pretty sure that's
so. Jeff, when did you the first time you're like, I'm starting this skate park, and you get the warehouse, and then how do you build it out?
Yeah, well, the warehouse was hard to find because no one wants a skate park at their warehouse district. Like everyone says, oh, there's going to be too many people coming. We don't have enough parking. The mechanic's going to complain about you down the hallway and want to leave because you guys are here. So that was like one of the biggest challenges. But then we found a really cool guy, and he was like all about it. He was like, I would love to have a skate park out of my warehouse.
All right.
So that ended up, it was kind of found. And I didn't really look for, like, I'd say, like, skate park doesn't need to be like out front in front of everybody because us skaters will find it.
Yeah,
like it doesn't need to be like a big storefront or anything like that.
Right. And now with the internet,
it's also probably nicer, when it's a little more like your spot.
Well, that's what I tell people, too, when they're like, this place is hard to find. I'm like, good skate spots are.
Yeah, I agree with that. It kind of lends to the vibe there, I think. Like some of the coolest restaurants I've been to, or I went to a Mexican restaurant in Atlanta that was tucked in an industrial compound, and it just made it so much cooler because of it. Like nobody knew it was back there, so it had a better vibe.
So when you're building out a skate park, where do you start? Do you is there a method to?
Is there an architect for like a skate park?
Or like?
Do you design it?
I need a half pipe. I need this. You have to have this. Like
no different than a golfer designing a course after he retires, right? Like when you see that all the time, like Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
They'll go and they'll design a course. Yeah, is that a thing?
Well, I mean, it was me and my brother did it. He skates too, and it was like a lot of like just thinking and trial and error, and we kind of just went for it. We were like, we had an idea of like how we wanted it laid out. And we had an idea of like what we didn't like about other skate parks, and like what we wanted to do kind of different than other skate parks.
Give me an example of something that you wanted to do a little differently.
Well, our skate park is like, I would say, a a little bit more like beginner friendly. A lot of times you go to like a lot of skate parks and the rails will be pretty high for anybody to grind or slide unless you're pretty good at skating.
Right.
Same with like they call it a hubba where you like grind on top of like a block or whatever.
Yeah.
And like again, a lot of times they're way too steep or high and a lot of times they put big bowls at skate parks, which are fun, but it takes up a lot of area and there'll only be like two guys skating the thing. You know what I mean? And it's like we could have, and I'm street skater, so I pretty much, our slogan is that we brought the streets inside.
Oh, I like that.
There'll always be the one old guy pumping the bowl. Because that's what he did when he was 19 and 79. And
I'm Caballero. You know, like,
he's 46.
Tall socks. Tall socks.
And then
half cabs.
And then he's going so fast that everybody's afraid to go in because all he's
helmet and pads. Yeah, he knows.
So then once you build it out, what's the next step? Is you just trying to let everybody know where you're at and like,
or upkeep, I would imagine, like keeping it like.
What do you charge? Do you have a little skate shop up front? Is there hidden money that we don't know about as far as like, the money's in the
concession stand? It's in the NAB.
No, there's like no money in anything.
Well, that's what I knew, Jeff. That's what I'm trying to ask you politely. I was leading you that direction.
And I was happy to lead you there. Why would you say that?
Well, I knew this is a passion project, Daniel.
Well, this is definitely...
By the way, that's the only time, and will be the only time, he ever utters the phrase passion project.
No, but it shouldn't be because,
you're doing it for love, man. I think that's cool.
Like we'll get into skating in a second, but I really believe in like getting into any like skating, whatever it is, and like if you're passionate, and then the learning how to work towards goals, is all skateboarding's about, and all this is like you try and
checking off tricks,
You try for 10,000 hours and for 1 second of a trick, and then you start trying again on the next thing.
Unless you're me, you try a few tricks and you're like, not for me.
That's me.
I think that's I was like, that's why like Steve-O can change his life because he's got that mentality of a skater, right? Which I don't know about Bam Margera, but I just think that the people that train themselves,
he's got it. He's a little too addicted, but he's got it.
But just to continually to work like incrementally on something until you
also
achieve
I think
a goal.
it's possible to lose any great gift you have if you've numbed yourself enough or dulled yourself enough. You may have damaged it and you can't get it back. That's on you. I mean, but
but you know how to train to do it, and it's just about like the work ethic.
Those are my favorite skate videos. In fact, a lot of the ones I share on Instagram Reels. I share a lot of skateboarding videos because I just love watching them, and they come up in my algorithm a lot. But I like the ones where you see the guy trying something that's seemingly impossible. I think I put one up last week, where it's a guy like just doing like a rail grind all the way down this huge staircase, and he tried it. And he must have tried it like 17 times. But when he got to the last one, he actually got it. And I'm like, holy crap, that's a metaphor for anything hard that you want to do, just to stick with it and keep trying it.
Well, Jeff, before we get back to the actual like business part of the skate park, let's talk about skating and your kids skating. And like, really, I don't know, it's so weird that no one saw that back in the day when it was like skating was considered a waste of time in the 90s to the older generation. They're like, what are you doing out here?
Nobody assumed like you'll be doing that with your kid one day.
But like why they didn't look at it like these like anybody enjoying skating, they're first, it's hard work, it's exercise, right? Absolutely. So it's like just the fact that exercise is a bonus instead of like sitting around doing nothing. So it's exercise, that's the base of it, which is positive, right? Then it's about trying something over and over, and like, well, first thinking that you could do it, right? So it's having the motivation and the confidence to even believe you can, right? And then it's failing hundreds of times for that one success.
Sure.
And then it's like, what better lesson is that to teach to anybody, any human, if like,
it's good.
I'm going to exercise and then try something hundreds of times until I make it.
How'd you get into skating, Jeff?
Me, my dad surfs, and I surf too, but my dad surfed a lot, so he like surfing and skating just go hand in hand.
Yeah, and you just picked it up and you're like, this is something I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I guess.
And your kids, multiple kids?
3 kids.
3 kids.
Okay.
Everybody skate?
My middle son rides like a scooter, like an aggressive scooter, I guess you call it.
Okay.
Or whatever, but he slides bars, he jumps downstairs.
All right.
It's all in them, Jeff.
He's doing it.
You made them, so they've got the skating bug. But I mean, do you agree with me that it's like it couldn't be a better way to teach kids about how to work?
It's amazing. It's like unbelievable when you go to, because we do a lot of contests. And when you go to a contest, the kids that are the skaters, you've never seen kids like these kids. Because they will eat it, and they're 9 years old, and they get back up and do it again. They're crying, doing it again. Their tears are coming down their face, and they're still doing it.
And that's awesome to see, and what a great lesson.
I love to see kids get hurt.
There's something
guess
weird.
what? You get hurt in life, and then you get back up and you keep going, and like that's the best lesson to ever learn.
There's two Hawaiian kids. It's a little boy and a little girl, but I think the little girl's the one that's like really amazing on the
Sky Brown.
Yes, and I follow her on Instagram, and but I follow her when she's like a little, and if you watch her skate when she's so little, she'll do things. It's insanity. It's like how is that person even doing that?
Oh, if you see my 8-year-old, it'll blow your mind.
I love it
because he's only 8 and he does things.
There's something weird about seeing a baby do a skateboard trick that I'm into. It both is amazing and it makes me laugh. You know what I mean? Like, it's like when you put a top hat on a tiny puppy or something. It's like, look at that. It's a mismatch. You should
he's definitely.
I love that.
I always say me and him get the same question at the skate park. How old are you?
Oh, right. Opposite ends. I love it. That's great, man. So, Jeff, let's talk about, don't you have a contest coming up?
Yeah. Let's plug that.
We got the O-Town Showdown going down. It's the second annual. We did it last year. And it's an all-ages contest. We have, beginner, intermediate, and, advanced.
It seems like you're really trying to really help out, and this is awesome. You're trying to help out those that might find the beginning aspects of getting into, slight competitive skating,
For sure.
The nerves, is that kind of...
One, skill levels are crazy with skateboarding, because like I said, my 8-year-old is really good, and there's 15-year-olds there's 20-year-olds that aren't as good as him, but they can't skate with the other 20-year-olds that are been skating since they since they were 8 years old or whatever, you know what I mean? Or
welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer, is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
So,
packed full of ladies in here, Tom.
Yeah, we have Judy in studio with a dog, and I'll explain how this happened. So, was it last week, Sam, that
it was.
You were looking through Pet Rescue by Judy's website.
Well, you guys were talking about how they were out at Sofas and Suds, and I didn't get to make it to that event.
Yeah.
And I guess there were some doggos out there, so I just, I jumped on the website.
Yeah.
And then you started looking through Judy's website, and then you fell upon, how did this particular dog
I went through them all. Through them all.
Yeah, all right. You're basically shopping for dogs just like my father would. You go to a rescue site, and then you just start going through and making notes of the ones you think are cool.
So, and then this particular dog jumped out at you.
Yeah.
For what reason, do you think?
Well, my last dog was a Chiweenie, so I'm familiar with the Chihuahua breed, and I just she's so pretty. She's got the brindle coloring.
It's a sweet face.
Yep.
And I'm projecting this. I know most people like Tom will say you what you're saying is nonsense, and he's probably right. But when I look at her, it looks like a little girl face. That looks like a sweet little
girl.
Yeah, she's got a sweet little... I can look at a dog and tell you the gender without even looking at the dog. I can look at its face.
So, Sam, I think this was during a break or during lunch. You were looking to the side, and then you were like, "Oh, I found this dog that Patsy that I really like." And I submitted on Judy's website an adoption form.
Yeah, an application.
An application for Patsy. But I see that there's other people applying.
Yeah, there's a wait list.
For
Gotta get
dogs
on the list.
too, or whatever.
Because look at that face.
And, I'm crunching the numbers, doing serious business, so I don't got time for flim-flam over here. But then I realized...
This is my life,
Tom. You guys are talking about the, local pop culture and things going, all insignificant matters to me. But this, I was like, you know what? If I can get Sam this dog, then she'll be loyal.
She'll owe me a big favor.
Maybe this year at the Super Bowl broadcast, she'll take her top off.
Now, it'll make up for all the things I've done to her.
Judy knows how to party on Super Bowl. You know, Vikings win, you take your top off.
So then if I can make up for all the things over the years, all the danger I put Sam in.
Does Judy know that you burned down her car? Judy, he burned down Sam's car.
No, I didn't know. I suggested a sponsor that burned.
He suggested a mechanic, and the mechanic burned her car down with her mom in the car.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was a terrifying experience.
I thought I did strange things.
No, you're fine.
It's not 100% evidence. You took it to the mechanic, and then minutes later it burned down. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah.
It could have been anything. Anyway, so there's that, and then
there was a lawsuit. It was their fault.
Bachelorette problem. Then there was the White Claw fishing boat.
Yeah. He just glossed over the bachelor party. He laughed right through it. Yeah,
we won't talk about that one. Statute of limitations.
So I've been waiting to get sued down the line at some point. But then I was like,
you thought this is my chance to do something good.
If I can make this happen, and get Sam
if I can connect these relationship dots, I know Judy.
Yeah, then I'll write.
I love the charity.
All the wrong.
Right. It's and at Christmas.
What is it? Paybacks or a bitch?
Yeah. Judy does.
So then, also, I was like, I rarely get to throw around like my media weight in this town.
Media weight.
Yeah, because I have, Sam. I don't know if you know this, but I've been broadcasting in this town for 20 years.
You cast a long shadow, my man. You cast a long shadow.
Yeah. I
know a lot of media weight in the documentary.
I know a lot of people.
There are 3 broadcasting names you think of in Orlando. Johnny Magic.
Yeah. Jim Phillips. Drunk in the Bear.
Those are the main 3.
Yeah. I mean, that's they've they heard the stadiums chant my name.
Yep, exactly. With an honorable mention.
Drunky, not your
honorable mention. Dirty Gems. Honorable mention. Dirty Gems.
So then I was like, I bet, because Sam wants his dog, but there's a waiting list. I bet if I text Judy, that I could get Sam to the top of the waiting list, because then Judy will be like, I gotta hook Tom up because of his media weight.
This is a celebrity dog now. Name any other rescue dog that's been on camera this long. Like, there's been anticipation in the chat room for this dog.
Oh, yeah.
My daughter's been asking every morning when Miss Sam is going to get her dog. Like, it's a thing. It's a thing on in our lexicon here.
So then I text Judy. I was like, hey, Judy, our
do me a solid.
I say, our producer Sam, like, if
from one New Yorker to another.
If you kick Sam up to the top of the list for Patsy, put in
a good word.
I'll give you some free commercials, give you some Pet Rescue by Judy,
what do you want?
Some plugs.
Yeah, we'll put a couple of your dogs on the camera.
On this blowtorch of a radio station, right?
Exactly.
That's what they call it, a blowtorch
of a radio station. 100,000 watts. 100,000 watts.
You know how far that goes? It goes like almost to Plant City.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it just gets a little fuzzy on the Bridge of Lions in St. Augustine.
Honey, are they teasing you? Are they teasing you?
No.
See, Judy does what I do. Judy does what I do. Like, that's what I would.
Yeah.
See, Judy.
I'm doing a speech.
She's not even listening to you.
I'm going to point.
I planned this whole speech.
Do you know that when
scaring my dog.
when Tom goes into his dog scaring speeches, I too want to fade away and just pet my dog Dansby and be like, "Hey, buddy, hey, what you doing? How's your day going? Yeah, he's talking again. He's talking more. He's doing one of his plans. He's just doing a plan. He's doing a dumb plan, and I don't care about his dumb plan, do I? Do I care about his dumb plan? I just care about the checks he writes me, right?
How are you not hanging on my every word?" So anyway, I text Judy and I'm like, "Hey, Sam wants this. Can you come by and maybe bring the dog?"
Well, Judy had asked me. I saw you at the event, and you asked me. You're like, "Hey, so good to see you. I got to get the word out. I got dogs." And I was like, "Say no more. We'll get you on."
And then we had a bunch of chain of continuously confusing texts back and forth.
We made it
because I would tell Judy this long thing, and then Judy is like, "Got it."
Judy's from New York.
She's like, "Shut the hell up.
And then I'm like, which one? I asked you 20 questions.
Was he texting you too much, Judy? You can be honest. Was he like, shut the hell up?
You know what? If you give me more than one sentence, one line, I'm done.
Wait a minute. You're Judy.
I asked this long text question.
I can't remember.
I'm not going to scream because of the
one
puppy.
line at a time.
You do the same thing. You're Judy. You read one line and you move on. You're like, I ain't got time for this.
Well, I had this long question about like, when are you going to come in? How is it going to be? What,
She'll get here when she gets here.
Also, tell me whenever the hell you want me. I'm there.
but then I was like, wait a minute. I just asked you a long, confusing question. Then at the end, I was like, but I just need to make sure you're going to bring this dog because I'm building this up for this the reunion of Sam's new dog. Yeah. And then Judy's like, got it. And then I was like, was that a yes or no? Then I got nervous. I was like, what if Judy shows up without the dog? I promise Sam.
Yeah.
That,
or a different dog.
Surprise. Yeah.
Or a different dog, a big dog.
Yeah. Like I bought this bitey pit bull. Yeah. It's just as good.
Judy, do most people want little dogs? Is that like what most people want, the little pee-pee dogs?
That really, because we get a lot, and I'm definitely no spring chicken, so we get a lot of the senior people because it's easier for them to handle.
You're making my dog nervous, Tom.
I'm sorry. Getting them in and out of the car. But I'm a big dog person. I like my big dogs.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but everybody has a different, opinion.
Yeah.
So, Judy, and now Sam's new dog is here,
right.
Patsy.
Dog.
And you know how good my Barb was? Boy, she was right on top of you.
Oh, yeah.
That's the foster mom.
Yeah.
Barb and Dave Warren.
They did a good, they ran your background.
They were sending me photos on Thanksgiving.
But they wanted to check you out, make sure you're not some
It doesn't
scumbag.
matter who calls me, the dog goes to the best home for the best dog.
Yeah, but it was my influence, Judy, and the text that really sealed the deal.
It's tough when you're popular and you can,
Did you have to grease the wheels a little bit? Did you slide the charity like a Hondo?
If it wasn't for my text, Judy, I mean, Sam, who knows?
Oh, you're saying I would have went to the bottom of the list?
No, I'm just saying. Like,
you could have ended up with a three-legged wart dog.
You could have got lost.
I was looking at the three-legged cat.
Three-legged cat?
It's a tripod.
I'm just saying that it was the text that sealed the deal
You're the
for
hero here.
this transaction to happen.
Yeah.
When you're good, you're good. What can I tell you?
All right. Thanks, Judy.
My God, you New Yorkers stick together.
Put me in the category of like first responder.
Yeah. Right under. Right under.
I equal. I think it's equal. I've known a lot of first responders.
Some would say you responded even quicker than a first responder.
Yeah. A lot of pickleball. I don't play that much pickleball.
What's quicker than a first responder?
Yeah.
You know what I say? You know what I say is that you should have never let it happen in the first place. You wouldn't have had to respond.
Yeah. I'm a zero responder.
Yeah, because I don't make mistakes.
Anyway, so Judy, where did this dog come from?
I think it was an owner surrender. Honestly, I have so many.
They just said that she had a rough life, so that's why she's so nervous.
I wanted Judy there to say, a trash can.
like your dog.
I wanted
give me that. I have enough of those.
Really? You get trash can dogs?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. They're like...
the folder.
Yeah, you idiot. The folder. Judy doesn't want the treat. She's not a dog. What are you...
What?
God, you're moving too fast and you're my nervous dog.
Oh, all right. No, she came from a high kill shelter. She came from Wildwood.
They were going to kill my baby.
So I deal with a lot of the kill shelters and the pilots and paws. God bless these people with their planes. They fly to all.
Alex does that.
Huh?
Alex, my sister-in-law.
Yeah, she's done that.
God, they are so marvelous. So we meet them at the Apopka Executive Airport.
Yep.
I take 6 1 week. Another group takes 10, and then we all get groups, and they got to mark down for pet rescue for whatever the rescues. And these wonderful men and women use their own planes, their own gas, their own time, go to these rural areas, pick up these animals. So I have a mother and 11 puppies they brought me.
Whoa.
And they brought me the dog, and then I thought I had a couple more days, and Monday morning I walked in and went, oh, we have a few more extras here. So she had 11 puppies. She's in my bedroom. She's to die for.
So how many dogs do you get, like, let's say, weekly, Judy? Like, how many people are constantly giving you dogs?
You all know that you've been around a long time, but I've been doing this for 33 years. This is my 33rd year. I have never seen anything so tragic as this last year and a half. It's because... I'm not going to say it, but our leaders are making everybody go bankrupt and losing their jobs, losing their homes, and guess what? The animals go. And
Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Don't scream Joe Biden in my dog's face.
I hate to say it. That was the dog's original name. I'm changing it. Not on my
Joe
one.
Biden?
Yeah, not my president.
His name is Mr. Trump. So I'm Mr. Trump.
Yeah, that's right. We're naming this dog MAGA. I'm sorry. We're naming this dog Ultra MAGA.
So, is it a direct result from like COVID?
No, everybody's got to stop with the COVID.
Oh, okay.
It's the economy. The economy sucks. Nobody can afford anything. So guess what? They can't feed their families. They can't buy gas. They can't buy food. And then who goes? The animals. And the other wonderful people that don't spay and neuter. So then you have a mother and 11 puppies. I have a mother and 9 puppies at my shelter. You know, you've got to spay and neuter. They can't afford it. There's a lot of low cost. We try to help as many as I can. They come with a litter. I said, don't come without the mother and father, because I'll fix the mother and father. You pick them up at 4:00. I'll pay for it. You're not coming back in 3 months with another litter. So we're trying to educate and protect the animals. And people get annoyed. I go, well, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, it is the first thing to go. You see it on Nextdoor all the time. You'll see where people are having financial issues.
Yeah,
and I hate to say it, but unfortunately you are going to displace your dog before you would a family member. It's just the way it's going to go. You see it every day. You'll see somebody like owner, giving up the dog on Nextdoor and saying,
I've got people living in their cars. Those people trying to hold on to their animals are living in their cars. And we give them food, we give them, flea stuff. I can't do medical stuff, but anything to help them. Just because those people, they'll die before they give up the animals. Other people, they're running around the streets. There's another dog from Horsemeyer's. They were chasing it last night. The guy stopped and threw the dog out of the car at Horsemeyer's feed store that I use. They're the best to me, and we get all our food from them. And they were all chasing this dog and couldn't catch it, and they just threw it out of the car. Well, if I dump it here, somebody will pick it up. That's not the way it goes, folks.
So, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
but animal controls are so full, they're not taking them.
Yeah.
And the rescues, we're drowning. We're legally at capacity, but I always squeeze another one in when I can.
It is always odd to me that someone that originally got the dog because they were like, you know what, I need a dog.
It's a different relationship, though. Like, it's a family member to me. Like, I would never do that.
But originally they wanted it, and then they were like,
no, they didn't. I don't think they did.
Yeah, but they got it.
They didn't make enough commitment. There's not enough commitment.
Yeah, but I've never
throw it out of your car.
I don't know. It's weird. I've always looked at animals or pets, and maybe it was the way I was raised, but I always look at them like they're family members. They're really no different. They're very important, and you feed them and take care of them just like you would a human.
I moved 11 times when I had my house in Orlando. They kept busting me, and I kept moving. I said, I'm not giving up with my rescues. I said, I'm not giving up the animals.
Yeah.
I got rid of my husband. I got rid of my house, my jewelry. I said, but I'm keeping the animals. We'll just keep moving.
Look how chill your dog is, Sam.
I know.
That's a chill little girl.
So, Judy,
she's sweet.
You also told me
She's
about...
doing great when Tom's not screaming in her face.
Yeah, it's hard not to scream at dogs. I love screaming at
Gotta get my dog out of here.
Biden.
I didn't even get to finish my speech. But, Judy, you told me...
Oh, my God. It's like De Niro now. He's going to pull out his phone and start reading the real words.
You told me about a program with local prisoners that you said that you're really lucky to get into, so tell us about that.
God bless them. The Greyhound group takes the Greyhounds to our prison in Lee Vista Road, and oh my God, these gentlemen.
Hey, that's Snoop Dogg.
And those gentlemen are so good. They work so hard with our animals and train them. They've trained one of our dogs, Hero, and he knows how to turn the lights on and off. He knows how to ring the bell for help. So he's going to be a great service dog. And they said he needs probably another 6 months to just get a little bit more mature, but he's going to be a magnificent service dog. He's a bigger dog. He's strong, but he's so smart. He's so obedient. So they take our animals. It has to be people-friendly, dog-friendly, and not food-aggressive for them to take them into the program. So we have to be very selective who we send, and they work with them for 10 to 18 weeks. And I went to graduation. I cried. I go, this is my dog, and my dog can do this, and he can do that, because they take the time and the energy. The dogs don't want to leave them.
Because they have the time to put in the effort to train these animals because they're in prison, and then they're doing a service.
Just a certain group, and these gentlemen are just to die for. They're so good, and they're so loving to the animals, and the animals love them so much. So everybody's benefiting them. It gets them out of the center. They're getting attention. They're getting socialized. They're getting educated,
and a goal to work towards.
Right.
Some of these guys say that they like it because I've seen a documentary, or like a small one, where the guys say, "Well, the dog doesn't judge me." I like that too.
Right.
Because some of these guys have done. They're trying to turn things around.
Yeah, they're doing a great job.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's one gentleman, he's there for 9 years, and he's the head, but they get trained, but he's the head trainer. And
do they get new dogs and then keep training more?
Oh,
and
yes,
more?
The Greyhounds bring them, and now the Greyhounds.
So once they're done with the dog, that dog graduates.
Comes back to we graduate. We go to the graduation. They get ribbons. The best one in the class. This is the most advanced. And they take such pride, and they stand there and they tell us what the dogs do, and they give you they give you like a half a book on what has to happen, what you have to do.
That's cool.
What people should have this dog. This dog needs this kind of a person. That dog needs that. And 2 of the deputies that work there, each one of them took one of the dogs, and the one gentleman was getting out, and his family came. He trained the dog, and his family came and adopted the dog, and he got out in June. And I said, as soon as you get out of there, you better be down by me working for me, because he's so great.
At training the dogs.
And
that's
training
great.
and work for us.
Be funny if you were a cop, right? Mm. And then you adopted a dog that was trained by prisoners, and then one night you wake up and the dog's standing by your bed. You're like, oh, you're like, I think. What did they teach you? What did you learn?
I like them training the dogs like Scared Straight.
Yeah. Hey, put this sugar on your. I'm sorry. Put the sugar on your lips.
So
now lick it off.
So Judy, you've been inundated with dogs recently. So
and cats and kittens.
Oh, also the cats.
Oh my God!
I thought it was only. Okay,
yeah, cats aren't a problem, oddly.
Yeah. but what if you're addicted to feeding cats around your?
There's a lot
community.
of people that feed it.
Oh my God!
Are we supposed to? We're not supposed to do that, right? The community cat, like you're not.
What are you going to do? Have you missed a meal? The cats need to eat.
Yeah, but I mean, but it doesn't. It cause more problems.
But as long as if you can get those animals in, and we get them spayed and neutered, and then you notch the ear so that they know they've been fixed, and then animal control won't pick them up. Like my breed that works for me, she's got 3 groups that she feeds. They're all fixed. They got their shots, but she has them in a community in her area, and she feeds them. So there's a lot of people do that. So everything that we have extra, we give out to the people so they can feed animals in their areas.
So how do people go about adopting these dogs that you have, Judy, or these cats, or any of the animals that
we ask? Right now, we used to do a lot of walkthroughs, and unfortunately, there was a couple of incidents, and now the insurance, we can't have people walking through. But if they go online and see an animal they like, they put an application in, and then we set up a meet and greet. If it has FH, means it's in a foster home. My name's on a lot of them. But we have foster homes, and then we set up a time that they can come in and meet the animal, whether it be a cat or a dog, and see how things work. They can walk them outside. We have a living room, the entire family. If it's a dog, they have to bring their dog to meet this dog, make certain they get along, and then they sit in the living room, they play with them, they talk to them, they pet them, see how everybody's going to get along.
The chat room is on the website right now, quoting, look at all these beautiful babies. Yeah. Go there, check out all these beautiful dogs, especially, man, you got... That looks like that's a show pony dog right there, man. She is gorgeous.
PetRescueByJudy.com.
Yep.
Judy's, she does the Lord's work because, she's...
defenseless little animals. They got no advocate, nobody rooting for them, and there you are doing it by yourself with 11 dogs in your bedroom. Good Lord.
It's a tough job. It's a tough grind that never ends.
Thankless.
And really...
You're helping things that truly can't communicate, which to me is so strange. And
the first problem is, Judy, people getting animals that they know they can't take care of, but they get them anyway, and then that's how you end up with them, right? And then not getting them spayed or neutered creates a whole other
Nothing
problem.
leaves my property without being spayed or neutered. They're microchipped. They have their vaccinations up to date. The dogs are tested for heartworm if they're 7 months or older. The cats are tested for feline leukemia and AIDS. So we give them feeding. We give them our food that we're feeding so they can, introduce them to other foods. We give them suggestions. And I have people that'll come in. Huskies are great dogs. But if you don't know anything about a husky, you don't want a husky.
Right.
Because they jump the fence, they dig under, they're so hyper, they need a lot of exercise. And then I have, mature people that want little puppies and kittens. Well, no, that's not the right decision to make. You want a dog that's a little bit older, settled, not going to chew up your furniture, not going to pee and poop, so you got to keep bending up and cleaning it. They need to walk, they need to sit on the couch with you. So we try to explain that you have to look look at the right dog for the right house for the right dog. And they go, oh, well, my children will take it. I go, if something happens to you, well, my children will take it. Well, I have a folder that's probably got 100 animals that have come in because they take the money, they take the house, they take the car, and guess what? They turn in the dogs or the cats because they don't want to be bothered or they don't have time.
Oh, man, that's real.
How do you do that? Can you imagine my mom dying? My mom and dad died. I have my mom's dog right now.
But there's a lot of people that don't do that.
She turned 18 yesterday.
Right.
I mean, this is an old, annoying, barky, bitey. It's got George Washington wooden teeth. Every breath it takes is its last. Every breath it poofs out, it smells straight like trash garbage.
I wish you would have brought it today and asked Judy to take it back with me.
Here, Judy, I got one more for you. How could somebody do that, though? How could you do that? How could you do that?
And I always hope that the parents will come back out of their graves and haunt them.
I'm with you. That's morbid. I like that, Judy.
That's the Italian part of me.
I like that. That is twisted. That you hope they dig themselves out of it. Yeah, I mean, that's what they deserve. That is heartless. Just take the dog. My God, man.
Make time. Get up a little earlier. Go to sleep a little later. I have to walk my Katniss at 5 o'clock in the morning. She's a pit, magnificent. I got her from Orange County with her 2 babies. Yeah. This dog will not use the grass in the yard. We have to walk.
Fancy.
She does 3 Ps, and I put newspaper under her for the 4th bend, and she poops on the newspaper, fold it up, and throw it away. She will not. She doesn't walk. She's not going. We have to walk.
Judy, how do you do it? How do you get the energy?
She gets to work.
Tired I am. You're waking up at 5 in the morning.
I want
a newspaper under a beefy pit bull at 5 in the morning every day.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
I can
barely take my sons across country twice a week.
I have a very bright flashlight, and when they're driving down the street at 5 o'clock, I flash my bright, like slow down, drive nice.
Slow down. Judy's out here.
My baby pit bull.
My dog is pooping on his paper. You slowly F down.
All right, Judy. Well, I know in the text message to you, I said we'll take care of any fees.
We got all
Sam.
the fees for Sam, and 100%.
By that I mean we're good, right? with the radio, I gave you a bunch of radio at time.
Since you're being so generous, I might as well double everything.
Double it up. This guy, I'll tell you, Judy. This guy bought. You remember Kaká, who played for Orlando City?
Right.
We bought a soccer ball at it. We bid on it.
Don't bring it up.
Yeah, it was like he spent like $1,000 on that, so you can get him good.
All right.
Go for it. Go for it.
Can we sell that?
I think somebody stabbed it with a knife in there.
It's just naturally deflated. Because, I think you have to keep those. How do they keep the autograph balls always inflated under glass?
No one knows.
Because they're naturally just
it's the world's greatest mystery. No one knows how they...
It looks like a wrinkled grape. Anyway, Judy, thanks so much for coming by.
Oh, God bless you all.
It's always a pleasure seeing you. Anytime you need to get the word out about anything.
And don't forget my 5K. My 5K is coming up.
Yeah, let's talk about it real quick. We got time.
The 5K run, it's also a 1 mile doggy run walk. Where is it at here?
At the front running shoe store in Lake Mary Boulevard. We go there every year. Have a phenomenal turnout.
You don't have your glasses,
we
do
need,
you?
We need
it's a pretty big font.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of info on there, too. My God, Judy, that is...
We need sponsors. People want to get on our T-shirts. I need your guys' logos.
Okay,
that's Sunday, January 28th.
Right. It's phenomenal. We have a great time. And don't forget, we got Pints and Pauses coming up in March with Paul. That is another phenomenal, and that helps us so much in the rescues because he donates all that money back to us and to other rescues and other organizations. So we need everybody to come out for Pints and Paws.
Well, we'll definitely be a T-shirt sponsor for sure.
Yeah,
for this.
we're in.
100%.
It's good to do something good, especially now we know you're hurting. We'll help out as much as we can.
Yeah.
Everybody's hurting, so everybody just take care. Don't abandon your animals. Spay and neuter. We try to help as many as we can. I can only fit so many animals in one building, and I have great employees. I have wonderful volunteers. My screeners do a magnificent job. So it's everything. It's not a Judy thing. It's an organization that works for the animals.
The chat room reaching out, last comment, they say that there is a dog on your website currently that would be perfect for Tom. The name of the dog is Squirt.
He's very cute.
Squirt came from Quay is one of my wonderful workers, and his dad found Squirt. Beautiful, wonderful dog.
You need a dog named Squirt.
What kind of dog is it?
I don't know, but just the fact that it's named Squirt is pretty amazing. Yeah. What kind of dog is Squirt, dude?
We think he's like a lab terrier mix.
Okay, a lab terrier.
He's already been fixed. He's heartworm negative. He's got all his shots.
Yeah, show me Squirt. Oh my God, that's a beautiful puppy.
Yes, he is. He's great.
He'll fit right in with the boys.
Yeah, dude.
He's got a good attitude.
Two little toe-headed blonde boys running through a field with Squirt the dog on adventures. He's got his bandana whipping in the wind, and where they're off to? What aren't they off to?
My son, my whole family
running through the
fields once a week about a dog. The boys put on the show now that I think Crystal put them up to.
Like a play?
Well, no, where they come up and they're like, you know what we want for Christmas? All we want is a new dog.
A new dog.
But you still
never had a dog.
Well, no, they still think.
No, you weren't awake for that.
Yeah.
You were asleep in your kid brain.
And then I'm like, did Mom tell you to say this? And then they're like, no. And then I see Crystal filming.
Filming.
She's always filming me. I don't know what.
Linda Johnson did that. Linda Johnson wouldn't talk on the phone unless he was recording it.
But Judy,
that's what
my sons they don't want to put in the work. You see what I'm saying? Like they're lazy.
How old are your sons?
They're 8 and 9.
They got to spend the day with me. I'll get
whip them into shape.
I have a feeling there are no egg sandwiches in Judy's.
They can't hang with you, Judy. Like
the meat streets of New York.
Give them to Judy for one day.
Hey, welcome to Brooklyn, you maggots. They're slapping them.
Pick up this doo-doo.
What's your favorite borough?
All right. So, petrescuebyjudy.com is the website.
Go there, help them out.
Sam, I hope this makes up for every single thing I've
ever done.
It's a good start.
It is a good start.
It's a good start.
Good start. That's the end. This is the only thing I can think of after a decade. I did one good thing.
You didn't wait long enough. You should have waited to do this in like 5 more years.
No, I know. But
look how intensive he is. He's just like...
Yeah. That dog is... that dog hates you.
No, he can see ghosts.
She's just checking everything.
What if he can see ghosts?
Sometimes
She's paranoid like me.
Judy, sometimes I think my dog can see the ghost of my father. Seriously, and he stands in my room over my wife's side of the bed.
Who's just staring into the corner?
Just staring over. Staring over.
See, the dogs
terrifying.
Do weird terrifying things. Like, what are you staring at? Why are you biting at the
my favorite thing that dogs do and that my wife hates, or this is my favorite thing. I'm going to have to turn my microphone up to do this. So this is my favorite thing my dog does. My dog will lay on my pillow and then put its mouth near my ear, and then as I'm falling asleep, make this noise. And I love it.
Why do you love
it?
It's
calming.
It's calming. It's ASMR. I don't know.
It is ASMR.
It's like a little thing that's with me, and it's making these noises in my ear, and I'm like, I like that.
Before I go to sleep, I'm like, you know what I wish I had? I wish I had a tiny animal making weird noises in my ear.
Yeah,
I've never wanted that.
I'm weird. I'm a weird guy.
Judy, thanks again. All right. Sam, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Enjoy. Congratulations.
Yeah. If you wanted to give me any gift or a thank you card,
you would like to send me a picture of your breasts?
No, I'm just saying like a Christmas thank you card.
We'll get pictures with Patsy and we'll send them to you.
Patsy photos.
Yeah. Like a long letter of how good I am. And how good of a person.
List of things.
Yeah, a list of how all my good deeds.
The one?
With that.
God be a dog. The end. Okay.
You can make up the rest. That was fun. All right. We'll be right back. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. On Zoom with us right now, and she's going to be at Four Flamingos at the Hyatt Regency Grand Cypress Resort.
Yeah, man.
December 1st through the 4th. If you want to see her, it's Chef Tucker Riccio.
You did it.
Riccio. Sorry. How you doing, Chef Tucker?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good. Hey, how did just to talk to my guys for a split second? How did we end up getting a relationship with Four Flamingos? Because it is. We've talked about a lot of chefs. We've talked about Richard Blaze. Obviously, we've talked about Four Flamingos on the show. We've never had more people reach out.
Oh, yeah.
We've never had more of our friends pick our brains about I guess celebrity chefs, and now we get to talk to another one. First of all, thanks for being on the show. But how did you get involved in cooking? Because I thought you were supposed to be a nurse.
I was definitely supposed to be a nurse. I had signed up for nursing school and everything, but I was actually just sitting on the couch watching food shows, cooking shows, documentaries, and I saw Dominique Cren's episode on Chef's Table come out, and I was truly just so inspired by what she was doing at her 3 Michelin star restaurant. You know, she's the first female chef in America to get 3 Michelin stars. And I just thought that was so badass that I wanted to be a part of that too. So I immediately told nursing school that I was not coming, and I signed up for culinary school instead.
And it's crazy, too, because it doesn't seem like that was that long ago. And that's what I was talking to our producer, Sam, about. Like, it seems like you obviously have natural talent because meteoric kind of rise, right? I mean, you're right there in the mix of everybody right now.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It was, I went to culinary school back in 2014. So it's been just about 10 years now cooking in the professional world. But, I've been cooking since I was a kid. I come from an immigrant family, Italian and Portuguese. And so food was always kind of the center point of all gatherings and holidays and whatnot. So food's been always near and dear to my heart. Now I just have a chance to take it pro and share it with a lot more people.
Yeah.
I'm curious about something because me and my wife have been watching the show The Bear. So essentially, I know
I have to be careful with that show. As an anxiety man, that show will run you up the wall.
But so from watching season 1, I essentially know everything there is to know about being a chef now.
So you basically could be a chef.
You could call me chef if you want at this
Chef
point.
Tom.
Because I watched The Bear. Anyway, but from watching that show, I'm like, I do not want to do this job.
Oh,
like,
it's high stress.
This is not for me at all.
Hard.
And in fact, this is a job that I'd be terrified to do because of the environment, the high stress, the working conditions, everything about it. So then it told me, I was like, well, who wants to do this job? And also, what kind of personalities do you see, Chef Tucker, that want to be a chef?
That's a fantastic question, because what you're seeing in these shows like The Bear, which are really highlighting a lot of the things that a lot of food shows gloss over, right? A lot of these food shows make it seem like a very glamorous lifestyle to be in. It's very rock and roll, right? It's a little piratey.
Yeah.
It was part of the thing that hooked me into being a chef. I was like, well, that lifestyle's kind of cool, But when it gets down to, brass taxes, it's a lot of stress. Absolutely. It is a very high stress work environment. It's a very intense work environment. Things are not always, HR approved in these kind of environments. And so you get a lot of very strong personalities. You get a lot of interesting characters, a lot of very high intensity people. So if you saw on the show, on my season, the number of professional chefs, there was like Chris, there was myself, there was Pilar, there was Nuri. So a lot of professional chefs. We all just have that kind of intense factor about us.
So because of that, though, it seems like now you've got a bunch of intense people in a stressful environment.
Right. Fast-paced,
Which
it's not always a good recipe, man. You might get some heads.
Yeah, like how many fights? And then also, does everybody have like a pre-meeting where like, all right, we're going to be yelling at each other, but everything that happens when we're on the clock, like don't.
It's like
don't
we're on stage, so we leave it here.
Yeah, we just
how do you deal with that?
That's exactly like how it is. So any problems you have in the restaurant, if service went badly, if you screwed something up, if you and the wine cook next to you have a problem, it kind of ends at service, which is kind of the nice thing about that environment. Any problems you have, you kind of leave it at work and then you can leave. Any problems that you have between coworkers, any of those intense moments that might have blown up a little bit during service, you kind of put that to rest and then, go about your day. It kind of stays contained in the restaurant, which is nice, but you're absolutely correct. Some situations can get a little bit dicey in there when all this intensity is packed into a small kitchen.
What's the hardest part for you? Like when you come to places like Orlando, and we're obviously so lucky to have you here, and special dishes that you can only get because you're going to be there. Do you get to just go crazy and use every ounce of creativity you have to do anything you want? Do you try to find whatever's the most fresh, or you try to tie it into a holiday? Like, how do you go about the creative aspect of coming to the restaurant and presenting something new for us?
Oh, that's a great idea. A great question. So, every time I go off to a new restaurant, I try to think about, seasonality. What's fresh right now? What's in season? What do I not have to search very hard for? What do I not have to bring in from really far away? What do I have that's local? What can I highlight and celebrate that's local to this particular location that I'm at? And so that's really important to me. I definitely want to highlight any produce or proteins that come from this area.
Yeah.
I'm also really fortunate to work with Chef Shelby, who is an absolute badass, and she lets me have a lot of creativity. She says she just wants me to be able to highlight myself. And so, she's been really awesome in letting me just kind of do my own thing. So highlighting seasonality, definitely, I don't want to make it too busy for the guys on the line either. I definitely don't want to be like, oh, well, everything comes off of this one station. So you want to kind of spread the workload out among the cooks out there. And, a little bit of just fun. What am I doing recently that's kind of cool? Any new interesting techniques that I found, anything like that? I want to incorporate that and just, share that, like I said, with people.
You did a stuffed avocado that looks just that thing. Come on now, man.
Thank you. I mean, I saw what Chef Blaze and Chef Shelby had done with that avocado that they did out there. And I was like, you know what? I could make my own Chef Tuck twist on this and serve that at my tasting menu dinners. And I did something like that.
Can you eat a flamingo?
That's a great question.
All right.
We saved this to the end. We saved this to the end. Somebody has to defend my partner. That's a great question.
I think you asked Richard Blaze the same question.
Yeah, we're obsessed with eating a flamingo. Ever since we started our relationship with 4 Flamingos, I've been there. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big bird, right? I mean,
not a lot of meat on the legs, but I feel like that.
Yeah. I mean, your flamingo breast
center area.
There's got to be some country, like in Brazil, they eat flamingos, right?
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I have more respect for the nations that go snoot to tail. Like we have a lot of waste in America, but if you consume it, like, look, what's that? Oh, I'm using the flamingo beak as a spoon. It's like, that's great. You're reusing things. It's like, upcycling. Well, hey.
Exactly. You got to use every part of the animal.
Well, speaking of that, what's the oddest thing that you've had to cook that you weren't familiar with, as far as like a protein or something that you just more exotic?
Let's see. So when I was working in Michelin restaurants, I was a butcher for a couple of years there, and
right on.
I had never really worked with a lot of Michelin proteins, which is to say some of the more interesting cuts that you might not see at your everyday restaurants. And so I was to prepare frog legs one day, and I had never tried frog legs. I'd never really seen frog legs, and the chef was like, "All right, frog legs are on the menu." And I was like, "What in the hell am I supposed to do with these?"
It sounds,
in Florida, it's a thing. Like, it's funny because you said that, and I'm like, not that crazy because we are swamp trash.
Yeah, my dad used to go frog gigging off his airboat in the night, and you go and you have a long stick with 3 spikes at the end.
It's
with
a tiny trident.
Yeah, with a tiny trident, and you go and you stab frogs in the Everglades, and then you put them in a garbage bag.
It's embarrassing for us to tell Chef Tucker that we come from swamp trash, and that, like, I think I had my first frog leg when I was 8 at a fish camp.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The old frog gigging.
Florida swamp trash down here.
Yeah. So that's why we're so blessed when we get a real, city chef comes and cooks us up some good vittles.
Well, again...
that's so funny because in California, you don't really see that at all. You don't really see frog legs on a lot of menus. And so it's really cool to be able to dive into some of those things, and like the same idea. You guys probably dive into alligator a little bit more.
Oh yeah. Gator bites.
Gator bites. Have that over here.
Yeah, it's all gator bites down here. Yeah. It's all tastes like chicken, by the way.
Also, a lot of our scallops are just stingrays that have just been punched out. It's horrifying. Oh, it's terrible. Absolutely.
So to get a reservation, go check her out this weekend. 4flamingosorlando.com/events.
Yeah, you will not be disappointed. It's one of the greatest restaurants I've been to. You'll love it, and especially if you love Florida cuisine. And 4 Flamingos treats us right. Go there and check out this super special event. Hey, thank you so much for the time talking with us, and we hope to get to do it again sometime soon.
Thank you guys so much. Take care.
All right,
Chef
you
Tucker.
too. Be good. That was really cool, man. It's always great when we get to chat with the different guest chefs and people that are popping into town.
I'm definitely going to teach my kids, like, just find what you're passionate about and into, and then try to work hard towards that. Because if you're not passionate about...
That's what Matthew Lillard said.
Well, I didn't want to...
Or, like, if you're not into cooking, like this is something so far away from what could even... contemplate doing, that I'd never be good at it, never even want to try it.
I wish I had learned to cook younger. Because now I really do enjoy cooking.
I love cooking.
And I'm learning through all the meal kits and stuff.
Cooking, I love cooking, and I'd be interested to see if Matt Mormon likes cooking, because there's something about cooking.
Likes cooking them steaks every night.
Yeah, well, it calms me down because of the steps. It's almost like a grounding technique. It's like step 1,
you can just check things off.
Get the pan. Step 2, put in oil. Step 3, put pork chop, whatever. And it's like a grounding technique for my anxiety, and it calms me down. But Maisie loves it too. In fact, I got a story I'll tell on the Friday Free Show. Maisie's like... crazy about cooking her own stuff now.
Yeah,
that's her thing.
It's just like you and Andrea, like following steps and directions.
It's in there, and she's going to do it. Yeah. I mean, but anyway, we got to take a break.
All right. I hate steps, by the way. We'll see you next week.